Well, hey, today it's 21st of September, World Alzheimer's Day, and to raise awareness about the disease, we celebrate it every year with a theme. And in this year, 2020, the theme is Let's Talk About Dementia. So, what are you waiting for? Let's talk about dementia. Do you know that presently, when you are listening to me right now, you are lowering the risk of getting AD? According to NIA, National Institute of Aging, the more educated you are, the lower the risk of getting AD. It is believed that every 4 seconds someone is diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, and is a common cause for dementia affecting more than 40 million people worldwide. And the sad part is, we still have no cure for this disease. Dr. Alois Alzheimer was the first to describe this disease in 1901 when he noticed that one of his particular patients had some peculiar problems. Difficulty sleeping, disturbed memory, drastic mood changes, and increased confusions. And when the patient passed away, he did an autopsy to see if there were some kind of irregularities in the brain that might have caused for the symptoms, and voila, he did find his culprit. And inside, he found some visible differences in the brain tissues in the form of misfolded proteins and nerve fibrillary tangles. These plaques and tangles work together in order to break down the brain structure. These plaques block the signaling between the cells, and the communication between the cells are blocked. And all of this occurs in a scene called hippocampus. And FYI, hippocampus is where memories are created. Now you know why the first symptom in AD is short-term memory loss. At first, these proteins reach up to the front part of the brain and destroys our ability to process logical thoughts. Now they shift to the portion where it's the control center for emotions and results in erratic mood swings. Then they move on into the top of the brain and destroys the cells there and cause for paranoia and hallucinations. And then, when it reaches the rear of the brain, they erase the most deepest memories that resides in that particular person. Eventually, the control centers governing the heart rate and breathing are overpowered as well, ultimately leading to the person's death. In simple words, they slowly eat up our brain. So what do you think causes Alzheimer's disease? Although we can't pinpoint onto what triggers the disease, there are certain factors or risk factors that can cause for the development of the disease. Number 1, age. The likelihood of developing Alzheimer's disease doubles every 5 years once you're 65, but 1 out of 20 people affected with this disease is around their 40s. Number 2, family history. The genes that were inherited from your parents can contribute to the development of the disease, but the chances are quite low regarding this. Number 3, Down syndrome. The genetic fault that causes for Down syndrome can also cause for the formation of amyloid plaques which develop in the brain cells over time. That can ultimately lead to AD. Number 4, head injuries. Although it's not quite assured by the researchers, it is believed that severe head injuries can also cause for the development of AD. Number 5, cardiovascular diseases. Several lifestyle practices and conditions associated with cardiovascular diseases can increase the risk for the development of AD. Smoking, obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol are some of those diseases that contribute to it. And also, loneliness, depression, sedentary lifestyle has been said to be major risk factors for the development of Alzheimer's disease. So, it is important that we stay mentally and physically active. It is seen that the rates of dementia in people who remain socially and mentally active are quite low. reading, learning a foreign language, bonjour, ciao, learning how to play a musical instrument, group sports, volunteering, developing new hobbies, all can actually help to reduce dementia. How much more easier can it get? The only way to stay ahead of Alzheimer's disease is to arm ourselves with the power of knowledge. That way, we can take better care of ourselves and our loved ones in the hope of preventing the disease. And more than being a deadly disease, Alzheimer's disease is said to be one of the most costly diseases. Therefore, it's better safe than sorry. And the most important thing that you have to keep in your mind is that there's always room for hope. Although there is no cure yet to be found, there is always room for a breakthrough. So that is why it is important that we stay informed. And therefore, World Alzheimer's Day is one big way to keep the conversation going. So, right now, when you're helping your loved one with dementia, performing any kind of everyday life practice like dressing or toileting, when they look at you with a mix of confusion, sadness, and fear, you gotta realize one thing. They might not remember who you are, what you mean to them, where you're from, or anything. But you should keep in your mind that they always know how it feels like to be loved and to be taken care of. So, amid this pandemic, let's all hold our hands virtually and hope for the best and stay informed. I'm an icon, man. I'm a girl about a 10. I should fuck her in a